Breaking news from the high seas has gripped audiences worldwide as dramatic footage emerged of the U.S. Coast Guard striking a cartel boat in a tense and high-stakes interception. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Future X-USA channel. Please subscribe and like my videos because today we are taking you deep inside the story of how this extraordinary operation unfolded. It began with a routine patrol but quickly escalated into one of the most daring maritime pursuits of the year. A suspicious vessel known as a go-fast boat had been detected skimming across international waters at extraordinary speed, loaded with illicit cargo and manned by individuals determined to outrun the law. Within minutes, the Coast Guard mobilized a highly coordinated strike involving fast cutters, armed boarding teams, and aerial support. What happened next demonstrated the speed, skill, and technology that define America's maritime defenders. The suspect boat tried to flee, weaving violently to throw off pursuit. But precision-disabling fire from the Coast Guard cut its engines, bringing the craft to a halt and allowing boarding officers to secure the crew and seize the contraband. This textbook interception not only disrupted a major smuggling run but also showcased the unique capabilities of the vessels and crews tasked with protecting U.S. waters. The vessel at the heart of this operation was one of the Coast Guard's newest high-speed cutters, purpose-built for interdiction missions like this. From the outside, its appearance is sleek, yet unmistakably authoritative. The hull is painted in the Coast Guard's iconic white with a bold diagonal stripe, instantly recognizable, yet engineered for function as much as symbolism. Its hull form is optimized to slice through waves at speed, combining a deep V-bow with stabilizing chines that reduce spray and roll even in rough seas. At over 100 feet long, but relatively narrow for its length, the cutter is agile enough to match smaller craft, while still carrying the fuel, crew, and equipment needed for extended patrols. Deck weapons are integrated seamlessly. A remotely operated 50 caliber gun mount on the bow for precision disabling shots, smaller side-mounted weapons for warning fire, and powerful searchlights capable of piercing the darkest night or storm. Communications antennas rise like a crown from the superstructure, feeding real-time data to command centers ashore. Each exterior feature reflects decades of lessons learned from chasing smugglers across open oceans and coastal shallows alike. The Cartel boat, by contrast, was a stripped-down speed machine designed to outrun rather than outgun. Long, low, and painted in muted gray and blue to blend with sea and sky, it carried multiple oversized outboard engines that roared with raw horsepower, but offered little in the way of safety or comfort. Fuel bladders filled its deck, sacrificing stability for range. This stark difference between the two vessels tells a story of professional enforcement versus desperate evasion. Inside the Coast Guard cutter, the atmosphere is all business. Space is at a premium, and every compartment is arranged for maximum efficiency. The bridge is the nerve center, packed with digital navigation screens, radar displays, encrypted radios, and night vision monitors. A few steps away, a compact operations room allows boarding team leaders to plan their approach and track the suspect craft in real time. Below deck are bunks for the crew, a small galley, and secure lockers for weapons and evidence. Comfort is secondary to readiness. Yet despite the cramped quarters, the environment is clean, well lit, and carefully organized so that every sailor knows where equipment is at a moment's notice. The Cartel boat's interior, by contrast, is essentially open deck space, sometimes with a small cockpit for steering but no amenities and virtually no protection from the elements. Its operators endure heat, spray, and exhaustion for hours at a time, a testament to the risks they take to evade interdiction. Performance is the arena where the Coast Guard's investment truly shines. This class of cutter can sprint at more than 40 knots and sustain high speed in rough seas without losing control. Twin or quad diesel engines deliver massive horsepower through water jets that allow sharp turns and quick acceleration, an essential advantage when closing with unpredictable targets. A stern launch bay houses a smaller high-speed pursuit boat that can be deployed even while the cutter is moving, allowing boarding teams to get alongside a suspect vessel far faster than in older designs. Overhead, a helicopter equipped with infrared sensors provides a bird's-eye view of the chase, relaying coordinates to the cutter and shining a spotlight to disorient fleeing smugglers. This combination of surface and air assets creates a layered net that few illegal operators can escape. The cartel's go-fast boat may have blistering straight-line speed thanks to its multiple outboards, but without sophisticated navigation or support, it is essentially a sprinter facing a marathon team. Once its engines are disabled by precision fire aimed at the lower units rather than the hull, the game is over. Safety features are built into every aspect of the Coast Guard vessel because high-speed chases at sea are inherently hazardous. The hull is reinforced to withstand collisions and grounding, while watertight compartments provide buoyancy even if damaged. Fire suppression systems are installed in engine rooms and galley spaces, and medical bays carry advanced trauma kits for immediate treatment of injuries. Self-righting lifeboats stand ready to deploy at a moment's notice, ensuring that even if the cutter or its crew face an emergency, they can respond swiftly. Even the weapons systems are designed with restraint in mind. Disabling rounds and non-lethal munitions aim to stop engines and equipment rather than harm people whenever possible. Boarding teams wear body armor, flotation vests, and carry less than lethal tools alongside firearms to give them flexible options once on deck. By contrast, the cartel boat is a study in risk. No life jackets, no fire suppression, often overloaded with fuel and cargo. When such a boat capsizes or catches fire, lives are lost quickly. This imbalance underscores why the Coast Guard's disciplined approach is so effective and, ironically, why it often ends up rescuing the very people it is pursuing once their own craft fails them. What makes this class of cutter stand out among maritime enforcement vessels are its unique selling points. The integrated launch bay for pursuit boats is a game changer, eliminating the slow crane launches of previous generations and allowing seamless boarding operations even in rough seas. Its modular weapons mounts can be swapped or upgraded as missions change, giving commanders flexibility without requiring a new hull. The hybrid propulsion system extends patrol range and reduces maintenance, critical for long deployments in remote waters. Real-time data links to intelligence centers on shore allow pattern analysis and rapid decision-making during chases, a force multiplier far beyond the individual ship. Ergonomic design on the bridge reduces crew fatigue, and automation in engine controls frees personnel for boarding duties. Each of these features has been shaped by decades of lessons from drug interdiction, migrant rescue, and counter-piracy operations, making the vessel a living synthesis of technology and experience. The price tag for such capability is significant, but justified. A single high-speed cutter with full systems can cost anywhere from $30 to $65 million, depending on configuration, crew facilities, and onboard technology. This includes the pursuit boat, weapons mounts, electronic suite, and the engineering needed for long-term durability in harsh marine environments. Maintenance and training add to the lifetime cost. But when measured against the billions in illicit cargo intercepted and the lives saved at sea, the investment pays for itself many times over. Moreover, building these cutters supports domestic shipyards and high-tech suppliers, feeding back into the U.S. economy while strengthening national security. Even the helicopter support, though expensive, is part of a broader layered defense that keeps maritime borders secure without requiring larger warships. As this particular operation concluded, the seized cartel boat was towed to shore as evidence, its crew taken into custody, and the contraband offloaded for destruction. Images of the high-speed chase and the dramatic disabling shots spread quickly across social media, drawing praise for the Coast Guard's precision and professionalism. But beyond the viral clips lies a deeper story about preparation, training, and technology. Each member of the crew undergoes rigorous drills for boarding procedures, weapons handling, medical response, and evidence preservation. Every sensor and weapon on the cutter is maintained to exacting standards so that when the moment comes, everything works seamlessly. This quiet discipline is invisible until the day it matters, at which point it looks effortless, but only because thousands of hours have been invested beforehand. This interception also highlights the ongoing evolution of maritime crime. Smugglers constantly experiment with new boat designs, hidden compartments, and evasive tactics, forcing law enforcement to innovate as well. The Coast Guard's ability to adapt quickly, integrate new sensors, and deploy cutters with versatile features keeps it ahead of that curve. While the public may see only the dramatic moment of capture, behind it lies a continuous cycle of intelligence gathering, interagency cooperation, and technology upgrades. In many ways, Each successful interdiction is both a culmination of past learning and a testbed for future improvements. In conclusion, the strike on